Abraham stands tall in the halls of faith, a figure whose legacy transcends time and culture. He's a giant, not in physical stature, but in spiritual strength, a beacon of unwavering faith and resilience. The Bible calls him the father of faith, a title earned through a life of trusting and obeying God, even when the path was unclear. His story, found in the book of Genesis, is more than ancient history. It's a narrative that continues to inspire and guide countless individuals. It's a timeless guide for anyone seeking a deeper, more vibrant relationship with God, a roadmap for spiritual growth and discovery. We first meet Abraham as Abram, living in Ur of the Chaldees, a bustling city of ancient Mesopotamia. Imagine a man comfortable in his surroundings, yet feeling a pull towards something more, a divine calling that stirs his soul. God speaks to Abram, calling him to leave everything behind and journey to a new land, a place unknown and filled with promise. This was no small request. It was a monumental leap of faith, a test of his trust in God's plan. It meant leaving his family, his security, his past. Yet Abram doesn't hesitate. He embraces the unknown with courage. He gathers his family and belongings, steps out in faith, and follows where God leads, embarking on a journey that would change the course of history. This act of obedience becomes the defining moment of his life, a testament to his unwavering faith and trust in God. It's a decision that will echo through generations, marking him as a man who dared to believe, a man who dared to trust in the promises of God. Abram becomes Abraham, father of many nations, a patriarch whose legacy is woven into the fabric of history, a promise from God that his descendants will be as numerous as the stars, a vision of a future filled with hope and possibility. This promise, seemingly impossible at the time, becomes the anchor of Abraham's faith, a cornerstone of his unwavering belief, a beacon of hope in the face of uncertainty, a guiding light for all who seek to follow in his footsteps. Abraham's journey was far from easy. He embarked on a path filled with uncertainty and challenges that would test the limits of his endurance and faith. He faced famine, battles, and moments of doubt. Each obstacle seemed insurmountable, yet he pressed on, driven by a promise and a vision that only he could see. Yet, through it all, his faith in God remained steadfast. In the darkest of times, when hope seemed lost, Abraham found strength in his unwavering belief. One of the most poignant examples is God's promise of a son, Isaac, born when Abraham and Sarah were well beyond childbearing years. This promise seemed impossible, a dream too far-fetched to come true. Imagine the joy, the awe, the sheer wonder they must have felt. Their laughter echoed the fulfillment of a divine promise, a miracle that defied all human logic. This miracle child was tangible proof of God's faithfulness, a living testament to his promises. Isaac was not just a son, he was a symbol of hope and divine intervention. But then, God presents Abraham with an unthinkable test, to sacrifice Isaac, his beloved son. This command was beyond comprehension, a trial that seemed to contradict everything Abraham believed. The story of the binding of Isaac, found in Genesis 22, is one of the most challenging passages in the Bible. It raises profound questions about faith, obedience, and the nature of God's will. Here, Abraham's faith is pushed to its absolute limit. Every step towards the mountain was a step into the unknown, a journey that tested his very soul. Yet even in this heart-wrenching situation, Abraham doesn't waver. His trust in God was so profound that he believed in the impossible, that somehow God would provide a way. He trusts God, believing that even if he sacrifices Isaac, God will remain faithful. This act of faith was not just about obedience, it was about complete surrender to God's will. This level of surrender and trust is difficult to comprehend. It challenges us to reflect on our own faith and the extent to which we trust in a higher power. It speaks volumes about the depth of Abraham's relationship with God. His faith was not just a belief, it was a living, breathing testament to his trust in the divine. He understood that God was trustworthy, even when his ways seemed impossible to understand. Abraham's story is a powerful reminder that true faith often requires us to step into the unknown, trusting that we are guided by a higher purpose. Abraham's faith wasn't passive. It wasn't a matter of simply believing in God. It was a deep, unwavering conviction that shaped every aspect of his life. It was about living a life that reflected that belief, a life that was a testament to his trust in God's promises. His faith was active, evident in his obedience, his generosity, and his unwavering hope. He didn't just talk about faith, he lived it out in tangible ways. Abraham's life serves as a powerful reminder that true faith is much more than words. It's a call to action, a call to live out our beliefs in our daily lives. It's about aligning our actions with our beliefs, even when it's difficult, even when it requires sacrifice. Even when it doesn't make sense, faith calls us to trust and to act. How can we apply this principle in our own lives? How can we make our faith more than just words? It might mean stepping outside our comfort zones, taking risks, and embracing the unknown, trusting God with a difficult decision, even when the outcome is uncertain, or showing kindness to someone who needs it, even when it's inconvenient. These are the moments that define our faith. Think about your own life. Reflect on the areas where you can grow in faith. What challenges are you facing? What steps can you take to trust God more fully? Where do you need to trust God more? In your relationships, your work, your personal growth? Abraham's story encourages us to step out in faith, to be bold in our obedience, and to trust that God will be faithful, even when we can't see the path ahead. Let Abraham's example inspire you to live a life of active faith, a faith that moves mountains and transforms lives. Even when the journey is uncertain, remember that faith is about trusting the one who guides us through the unknown.